GaryVee was the spark that gave me confidence to do what I did, because he constantly says, don't live with regrets. Don't don't care what people think about you. And that's all general cliche shit that we all hear, But the fact of the matter is, we still care. We still care what people think about us. We still have fear of moving in from one place to another drastic place. Like, we all have that. But I think the difference for me when I did that is that he constantly said it, and I was just ready to hear it. And when I was ready to hear that, he said, "What are you gonna do? You live your whole life with regret?" And I said, "No."
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the IQ Project. I'm right here with my co-host Ricky Tat,
Yo, what's up, man?
and today filling in is James.
What's up?
I forget your last name.
Alpert,
Alpert.
Also
There
known
you go.
as what?
Ink by James.
Ink by
with two
James.
S's.
I'm right here, Josh Renteria. You already know. Again, little plug-in for all your tattoos needs. Please contact us at Instagram, iconic_tattoo studio. Follow the podcast Instagram, which is the IQ Project podcast, and then
Why are you looking at me for?
because you made them. So I was like, and then the
IQ
TikTok as
yeah.
well.
Oh, that's right. We have TikTok. We haven't even posted.
It's getting there.
It's getting there. We're a work in progress.
Yeah, and if you're listening to this on YouTube, you can also find us on Spotify, Apple Music, any other podcast where you can play podcasts at. So today we got an interesting topic.
This just came out of the blue.
Before we started
we're
shooting,
gonna
there,
do some
get
whack
heated.
ass thing like, how do you tattoo when you're motivated? No, fuck that. We started talking about motivators, right?
Yeah.
Who motivates you? And
So Ricky and James got into it pretty bad. Me and Carlos were laughing the whole time. But yeah, today's basically topic is gonna be
discussion, right?
Today's topic is basically gonna be about who motivates you, what keeps you going a day,
and why do you what is the word, connect towards certain motivators, and when also you don't connect to others, right?
Yeah.
So
I mean, you already fucking heated, so let's go. Let's talk about it.
I'm chill. No, so he mentioned the young man over here, James. I mentioned I always preach all my content. I'm like, I get a lot of influence from GaryVee, Gainer Vaynerchuk. And the young man here, James, said, "Who is that?" And I was like, "What? You're fired. Get out of here." Jokingly, right? Because I don't know. I believe he's very strong in the youth, especially in 18 to
So his age.
What are you, Gen X?
Yeah.
So his age.
Gen X and
I don't know,
millennials.
Gen
He's
Z, aren't I? I don't
Gen
know.
something. You're 19, so
Yeah.
So
between 18 and 25, he's really. I'm surprised you haven't heard him.
I just super disagree.
So you heard him before?
Yeah, I know him. I've seen him on TikTok and I've seen him on Instagram and like on YouTube here and there doing podcasts and just.
And you just don't like his?
I don't like him now.
His theories,
No.
his concepts.
I think he's kind of like a hype artist. I think he just.
You said a snake oil salesman.
Yeah. I mean, you could literally go to his Wikipedia and that is the first thing that pops up when you go to his career. And like reception, it says career reception. People think of GaryVee as a snake oil salesman.
we're gonna have Carlos be fact checking things today.
Yeah, you could look that up.
And that's where you stopped? You said, "Oh, Wikipedia is official. That's it."
Well, no, but it's just like that, that's
research?
just kind of like the consensus around him. I think I'm not the only one too. It's just
How about making your own interpretation by putting in enough hours?
I totally have.
But you
I've
said you
listened
didn't
to
you
him.
didn't care about him, so you didn't really follow through, right? You didn't like.
Well, I don't think
continue
you have
researching.
to I mean, you could
No,
do your
bec-
research on him, and you still can't care about him. You
No,
can't
I understand
really force
that.
it on
No.
anyone.
And he doesn't have to like it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But to me personally, I put him alone above all. There's other ones, that we listen to. I think when we're in a time of like wanting to better ourselves, we search for other people that are doing it to find motivation, right? To me, at the time when I needed to be from when I wanted to quit my job and I wanted to do something else, GaryVee was the spark that gave me confidence to do what I did, because he constantly says, don't live with regrets. Don't uh, don't care what people think about you. And that's all general cliche shit that we all hear, But the fact of the matter is we still care. We still care what people think about us. We still have fear of moving in from one place to another drastic place. Like, we all have that. But I think the difference for me when I did that is that he constantly said it, and I was just ready to hear it. And when I was ready to hear that, he said, "What are you gonna do? You live your whole life with regret?" And I said, "No." That's one part. That's one perception. And he's GaryVee to me is like a motivator, and I like all the stuff he says. Yes, his energy is off in different levels, right? A lot of people cannot connect to that kind of energy. A lot of people like more mellow conversationists, right? But to me, he's like, I guess because that's how I am, And I connected with him, so that's why I listen to a lot of his stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Who do you guys listening to? Who do you guys listen to?
I don't have one specific person. I just listen to random people. Like, I'll listen to podcasts, especially like me and Tony here. We'll just listen to different podcasts. And I'm not saying that I stick to that person, and I'm saying that person changed my life like how he did to you.
Mm-hmm.
But I get little snippets from here and there. Even just people on Instagram. You know what I mean? It's just whatever hits me around that time where I listen to it. Okay, cool. I'll take it in. With GaryVee, me personally, I can't listen to him the whole time. I could take it by little. I do agree with some points. I don't agree with some other points he says. That's me personally. What about you?
I mean,
I think you for more music, right?
yeah, I'm more for music, but I mean, I do like Joe Rogan. I mean, he's pretty cool, but he's like more in kind of that like state where he listens to the interviewer more than he talks about himself.
See, and that's another thing we say that I've heard from GaryVee, that he doesn't let people talk. He just intervenes and fucking starts talking, and then it starts making the conversation about him. And that is one thing I do agree with that.
I feel like whenever I'm listening to him, he's trying to get me a part of his whatever he's selling, like whatever ideology like that he has, since he is all internet based. It's just another advertisement that you're clicking on for him to kind of get you a part of.
What do you mean
deal.
by internet based?
Well, because I mean his whole culture and the whole crypto culture is based off of like, hey, if I get you in on this project, then my crypto goes up in value just because you bought it. That's literally how the money like works. You're just trading money, adding new value to it. So
You're talking about NFTs right now?
or just like, and I feel like just his crypto or NFTs, they're both kind of the same thing in that value. Because when I look at him, he's always talking about how these things are changing the future and how things need to get up. People need to be a part of it like right now before it blows up. And I feel like that's the whole
Like the FOMO thing?
yeah, that's like that whole advertising culture of what that is.
But I feel like you're reading headlines though, because if you watch his content and analyze it, he's a businessman, yes. And he needs the more people, the more NFTs he sells, the more community he builds, the more NFTs he sells, the more shoes he sold, the more books. He writes books. The more clients he gets for his advertising agency, right? So, but nowhere in his content does he ever blatantly say, yo, buy my book. Yo, buy my NFT.
Yeah, that's why it's not even said like that. That's why I don't like it. It's like
Subliminally?
inferred subliminally. Yeah.
So you find that disingenuous?
Yeah, I think I do. I just feel like I can't watch him have a normal conversation.
Interesting. I mean, people don't like to be sold, bro. You know?
Yeah.
People don't like to be sold. So he's very good at subliminally saying what he's about. And ultimately, if you like the person, I always say this, especially in tattooing, if somebody likes you, they'll hire you, right?
Yeah.
So obviously, if you don't like him, you're not gonna buy diddly shit from him.
Yeah. I would take speech classes, like debate classes as well, and it's pretty easy. I think it's pretty easy to read through his like patterns, like when he switches to different modes and what he's talking to. I just feel like he kind of talks like a politician. That's just my take on him.
I never taken any speech classes, but I mean, in the years, I mean, I've been following since 2011. So what's that? About a lot of years, over 10 years.
Because I mean, I like Kanye a lot, and he's like,
yeah, you mentioned
kinda
Kanye.
He's sporadic. I feel like he's kind of up and down,
He's
like kind of
very
like
sporadic.
he is, and it's.
But
like
he's not out there on social media. No?
he totally is too. He's
Not as much as Gary Vee.
not as much as GaryVee.
Gary
no.
Vee's on daily.
Yeah, GaryVee
Open
is
up
on
your.
daily.
You're gonna now because our phones are hearing us. You're gonna hear a lot of Gary Vee content.
Yeah.
That's what he wanted.
Yes.
I feel like with him though, the thing is,
What is
like,
that bugs you about him? Let's go there.
Damn.
GaryVee?
Let's
Hey,
go
he's
in.
salty right now, hey?
Let's go in deep. Yeah. What is it?
Hey,
I
Ricardo's
just
over
don't
here
like
trying to
his like
see.
end vision where he's going with like all with everything that he's selling and the way that he thinks the culture will move and the way he thinks that people have to start making a lot of these changes just normal. Like like banks know immediately when it comes to crypto or NFTs, like they're not gonna touch it. That none of that stuff can be liquidated. All that stuff can be lost. All that money is literally like throwing it into a computer and
Excuse me. It's very volatile.
yeah,
Right.
I think so. And he's promoting like warehouses that are crypto mining, and their electric bills are more than some countries on some like on the earth. Literally, like you could fact check a lot of this stuff. Like a lot of these warehouses that are crypto mining are
We
like
got Carlos fact checking, so.
So people your age care about that.
yeah, because I mean it's one of those things where it's like you're talking about having a warehouse that essentially makes nothing, makes more money, like more fake money. And then it's like it's ruining the climate too. There's no jobs within it, and it's just making the rich richer.
Damn.
Interesting. What about tattooing? We don't create anything. We just tattoo on skin, and we use all this electricity, all this plastic, all
mean,
this
you
disposable.
But it's
yeah, you're
permanent.
here.
It's physical.
You're creating, yeah.
You get me? You take it with you forever, and it's more of a.
You could argue that NFT is permanent.
I wouldn't think so though,
How so?
because of what if the servers shut down?
What if?
All of it's built on like third-party companies that are literally having these warehouses to make people like transfer these.
So what if
sales.
electricity goes out?
Then
we
everybody's
can't
stuff is
tattoo?
kind of like.
So you're kind of
I mean, yeah, we
You're-
can. We
you're
could go
cons-
sit by the window and we're wireless, so
Yeah.
where are you gonna charge your batteries when they're die?
then I'll start bringing out the hand poke thing.
I think. Okay, I understand what you're saying. I get that.
I don't
the
know
digital-
shit about NFTs. I'm like, quiet. I'm like, I'm trying to
No,
come
I
in
don't
here
know.
like,
I don't know much either. I don't even own any of them, you know. But I part of Gary Vee, like we were speaking before we turned on the cameras, and you said the crypto guy, and he's hardly. If anybody really knows him, you would realize is the word that crypto is such a small percentage of his approach.
I think so, but I think you would have to argue as one of his fans. That's one of the things that blew him up in the mainstream for sure. When he was getting all these headlines about buying like really good crypto picks, making millions, and then going on these podcasts after, and then people.
No, he
like,
was hitting before NFTs, bro. He
But,
was
like,
hitting.
people
it just
my
wasn't
age-
in other radar. But just TikTok blows up everybody.
he
and-
just
and
said it.
TikTok-
People his age.
Oh, your age.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
That's what like really picked him up, I think, and got him the momentum. Because he has been around forever for sure, but to say that he's like
He's
of
a
the top,
multimillionaire,
now he's just one of the top motivational speakers. Like,
but he doesn't consider himself a motivational speaker.
He might not consider himself, but that's what he is
Yeah.
technically.
That's what people view him as.
I mean, that's how you see him. He motivates you.
No, I view him as a business owner that I see a lot of stuff that he gives to me, and I can. He didn't change my world. He helped me, understand that through his words, I was able to just change my life.
So it's
I did it myself.
Speaker.
Yeah, it was a motivation.
yeah.
But I don't say like, oh, that's all he does. He's a business. I don't listen to people that don't have no businesses, that never made money. I don't listen to them. You can tell me whoever you listen to and I'll analyze them. Who did you start listening to? Bedros Keuilian, right?
Mm-hmm.
That guy has a lot of gyms. He makes money. I started listening to him a while back. You guys listening to Ed Milet. He's also a real estate entrepreneur. Grant Cardone. They all done things, right?
Yeah.
And we all listen to them. And they're known because they've invested millions of dollars in advertising. And that's why they're
Well,
on
they're
YouTube.
speaking what they've been through. But also, I kind of agree with how he was talking about also. And I've told you about this before, too. And we've gotten into a whole argument that from the whole NFT thing with GaryVee, the way I was seeing it, is that, yeah, he's blowing it up right now to get it hyped up. But what's going to happen when it crashes?
He said 99% of the NFTs are going to crash.
Yeah. So he's just blowing it up to people invest their money in. And what'd you call it?
So buyer beware.
What'd you call it?
pump and dump.
Pump and dump.
A pump
Yeah.
and dump.
Yeah, so everybody put the money in there, and then when it crashes, bam, he still kept the money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It ain't worth
They
it.
didn't get shit.
He does say that 99% of those NFTs are going to dump. He says it. So he says his is not.
But like, does that make it any better?
Buyer beware, I guess.
Oh, man.
You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, you're an adult. You can do whatever money you're going to be making from tattooing.
Does it make it morally right though?
Well, that's subjective.
Do you think it's right?
I think it's right. I mean, he's not killing anybody. He's not doing anything wrong.
What if he hypes someone up so much that he gets them to invest their life savings, and then when it crashes, they completely lose everything?
Welcome to the stock market.
Yeah.
Welcome to 2000.
I think
okay,
he
you guys don't know this, but in 2000, there was a bubble called the .com bubble.
Yeah.
And that went through the same process the NFT stuff is going. I don't know exactly all these details. I'm not going to
I think
look
he
at the
just
camera and
promotes
say,
like a super dangerous side of that business. That's
Is
it.
that true, Carlos?
I think you
he's
think
like
it's dangerous. I think it's genius.
I think it's the riskiest side of the business, and I think when it pops, it's gonna be super bad because like all these NFTs that have been selling, the only reason they even have any like incentives to keep going is because it's more than an art piece. Like Bored Ape Yacht Club, like they literally invite you to yacht parties, to concerts, to bars, to get you
It's
in
membership.
rooms with like membership
It's
with
a
all these other
membership.
people. It's not even like what it used to be. It's not even people selling art, and then you don't even get to own the art. You own like a link to the art. So it's just one of those things where it's like,
That's the one with the monkey, right?
yeah, and it's the most
okay.
popular one, and I think it's like
Yeah, I
super
don't know
ugly.
shit about
It's one of the
I
popular
think
ones
it's
because it's
super
one of the
ugly.
first ones that actually like successfully gained a lot of attention, and it's like the status symbol. You own a babe. What is it called?
A Bored Ape.
Bored Ape. It's kind of like you owning a Michael Jordan rookie card type thing.
Except I don't think it's that cool.
Not to you. See, that's the problem. You're thinking. Well, we're talking about you individual, but to you, we're thinking about it as business, right? What it influences.
It's insane to me. It's a picture of a monkey,
Right.
and it looks. It's not even like well drawn.
But that picture of
think
the
at that
monkey
point-
can get you to what's in right now. And if you care about what's in and you can afford it, it's a status symbol. Like the brothers, what do they call Paul? The Weddles, what are they called? The YouTubers?
Logans?
The Logans. They own them, right? The Logan
Yeah.
brothers.
There's just got to be some money laundering involved in all of this.
Maybe
it has
there
to be
is.
tax write-offs.
probably
It
is.
Maybe
has
there
to
is, but
be-
what? You're going to be always cynical of everything? You know what I mean? Like,
just
why don't you
doesn't
look
seem
at
like-
it as a marketing aspect? Like, it's a genius part. So NFTs, from what I understand, okay? And I
Yeah.
could be wrong, and we can fact check all this, but if you guys don't know what NFT is, the little research that I have is it's called non-fungible token, meaning it's something that you own, but you can't necessarily have it in a physical form. Like, if you buy a limited edition tattoo machine, like the ones we bought, right? I can hold that, and it's a limited edition. I can resell it to whoever thinks it's worth the value that I'm going to sell it. With the NFT, let's do the same example. Tattoo machine picture with Carlos Torres, and he makes it into an NFT, and he's holding it or whatever the fuck, I don't know, and then he puts it up for sale, and you buy it. You don't own anything. You just own this picture, right? But most people here, the issue here is that you're putting a lot of heavy emphasis on the art aspect of it, and that's only us. That's like the catapult to this whole other industry that's going to happen. It's the contract that's behind it, the membership. And Carlos Torres could be like, if you buy this, I'm selling 100 of these. If you buy this NFT from me and it costs $5,000, right? $5,000 converted into into a crypto market, depending on what Ethereum is worth or whatever. Ethereum is like another crypto, guys. If you guys don't know, I'm pretty sure everybody knows a little bit of it, right? So let's say you buy it. And it costs you, how much is Ethereum right now? Like 1,700, 2,000, 1,100 now? 1,100. So
Drop.
it's about 3.4 Ethereum. You buy it for 3.4. Well, when you buy in that transaction, you have a membership attached to that. So now Carlos Torres can be like, whoever owns it can come to my art shows for free if he doesn't charge. You can come once a year to my shop and watch me tattoo for a day. Right? Would you buy one? Let's say you had access to one. You've been wanting to get tattooed from him. Would you buy one? Maybe
Maybe.
5,000, because alone, just that's like $5,000, right?
Mhm.
Not only are you get access to him, you're one of the few 100 that can actually go and shake his hand, be like, man, I own your NFT. He's gonna be like, cool, man, thank you, right? Then you go in, and then you say, by the way, I want to take, September 17th as the day that I want to see. So now you get to see him to get tattoo somebody because it's part of your contract with that.
Mhm.
How valuable is that? See what I'm saying? So it's not the art. The art aspect was cool when you saw it at first, but then that art aspect is like, it's a thought that's, what is it called? A forethought. It's like you saw it, and then it's like it doesn't matter anymore. What matters now
So what you're
is
saying
the
is
contract.
that NFT started as art, but right now the art doesn't matter. You could just put a picture of whatever you want.
No, the
as
art
long as you
matters
have a
still.
contract.
The art matters still. I think it matters right now because that's the way to differentiate a code. Because once you buy that, let's say you purchase it, right?
Mhm.
You get like a code, an algorithm that supposedly says, at this time, Josh bought this piece and he owns it. So you own that algorithm. You bought that algorithm, right? So nobody else can duplicate that one algorithm because everybody in the crypto servers, it's all verified, right? That's kind of the idea. Whereas you can screenshot that. You can show it to me and I can screenshot that Carlos Torres NFT, right? And I could have it too. And I'd be like, well, I have it too.
But this is why I think it's all silly.
No, wait. Listen to me. But if I have that screenshot,
Yeah.
right? And I go to his art show, Carlos Torres. Do you know who Carlos Torres is, by the way?
Well, that's at that point you're already, like I said, you're
Well,
not
yeah,
doing
that's
it
like
for
the
the
basis of
artwork.
it,
You're
yeah.
not. You're only doing it for the contract.
That's
so
kind
the
of my
artwork
argument
doesn't matter
against
anymore.
it.
It's basically just a contract. So that's what I'm saying. You could just upload whatever you want, call it an NFT, connect the contract to it, and people are just gonna buy the contract.
Yeah.
So you're just
Are they
selling
though?
the contract. Though.
And
Are they?
anything though,
Well, that's what you're saying. The art
think-
doesn't
No.
matter. You
I
can
think it-
screenshot it.
Well, listen
I
to who
can
I'm talking
screenshot it.
about. Who am I talking about?
What?
We're
That's
talking
so
about Carlos
specific, though.
Torres,
Yeah.
a guy that's sought after that has a community.
Yes, I understand that, but that's what I'm saying. Like you can screenshot it, I can screenshot it. He has the original.
I
He
think,
has a contract, so you're just buying the contract. You don't care about the image.
Right.
yeah.
So that's what we're saying. The art is not even a thought anymore. You could just upload whatever image you want. If I can just have your logo if you want,
Mm-hmm.
that's it.
Yes, you can do that all day long, and there's
Yeah.
gas fees for it.
Yeah, I
There's
just
a-
think
There's a charge, right? But here's what differentiates us loading up the same thing with a tattoo machine and Carlos Torres. Carlos Torres has 20 plus years of building a community.
So you're saying only someone that has a big following is going to succeed in this.
Most of the time.
yes.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
So like Jim
It's a
Carrey,
popularity contest, yes.
Jim Carrey fucking sells his art, which is
If
not
Jim
that
Carrey
great.
came out with the mask,
He did.
he did?
He
Oh,
did. He came out with the mass NFTs and is started selling.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's compared to an actual artist who like Crayola who could fucking put
Right.
it up there. Obviously his thing's not gonna do, it's not gonna be worth that much.
Exactly.
I think it proves the point that it could be anything, and that's why I'm not for it. That you could just sit down and be like, an NFT is anything. If like depending on who you are and what I want to sell and,
And
how
I
I'm
think
gonna market
that's you have a good point. I think that's the misconception that you attach NFTs to art.
it.
Well,
Mhm.
originally that's how it started.
Well, it started like that too. I mean, you're gonna buy just code,
That's what you're doing.
right?
Yeah.
But are you gonna? How do you know this code is different than this code?
exactly?
Buy a picture. It has to have a cover.
But as a consumer, you don't know.
Do you
that.
buy the music lyrics or do you look at the album when you draw?
Well, you
'Cause
would
you
want
draw
both, right? But you don't get that with both when buying an NFT.
Yes, you do.
You don't buy the picture, you buy the code.
You buy both.
You don't. You buy the code that has the picture.
You're telling me you're not buying. You just said it.
Yes.
You buy the picture.
but
Whatever
you don't
picture
own
it
the
is.
picture though.
Yes, you do.
On
You
the-
own the picture. You own that. And if in the contract that says, I'll give you the original art.
But
then
you
own
said
the
you could
art.
screenshot it. If like 100 of us screenshot it, and yes, you're the one that has the code and the receipt that proves you have it. It's
Mhm.
like cool for you, dude.
Right.
That's why at the end of the day, like that's.
But you cannot walk. Okay, so if he bought the NFT. Why are we talking about NFTs? But anyway, let's finish this conversation.
Oh no.
If he bought the NFT,
Yeah.
he can go to those shows.
Yes.
And we walk in and we show it, they're gonna be like, show me your wallet.
Well, yeah.
And then they're gonna be like, no, you're not the original. So bye.
I just think the whole everything about it is so silly to me. Going to the event, having that as a ticket, and then the incentives that come with that being a ticket tied to an art piece that you don't actually own. I think the whole idea
So
is
you don't
kinda-
like the idea of memberships.
I don't like the idea of just it being
You're a member of Too Iconic. We just got you in.
yeah, but that's different. Like you're
How's it
employee
different?
representing a brand at that point. You get me? So you're a part of something and it's all physical still, is my point. You get me? I still come to work, you know? It's not like looking at my phone with the code or something
You
like
can't
that.
walk into that door without this code.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay, we'll agree to disagree on that. We can move on. But basically with NFTs, that's the idea, bro.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel like we need to do more research to understand what it is, you know?
Yeah.
And it's going that way. I mean, according to my mentor, GaryVee, who's all God. No, I'm just kidding. I just like to fuck with you guys on that. NFTs are going to be really important in 10 years from now. There's way more utility as opposed to the art aspect, you know? And it's yet to be seen, right? But anyways, that's one aspect of him. The reason why I like GaryVee and why I like him overall is because his content, and you've said this to me, I'm like, why do you listen to him? He repeats himself all the time, right? Did you say that before? Like, I feel like he just repeats. Somebody said it.
Mm-hmm.
So I just feel like he repeats himself over and over.
Yeah, it was Alex, because Alex said, I can only listen to like 10 minutes. I already know what he's talking about.
Right.
Because he talks about the same shit all the time.
So GaryVee is his whole. If I were to like put it in small, from what I understand, from what I learned is that he promotes self-awareness. You know,
Mm-hmm.
he's really big on we don't do what we like to do. We don't want to follow our dreams because we're scared of judgment. So we need to grow our self-awareness and realize that it doesn't matter what people think of us. That's why we don't do what we do. That's why we don't transition from being a construction worker to being a fucking.
But why is that different from any other one that's saying the same shit? 'Cause
I'm
they're
not saying
they're
he's
all saying
different.
the same thing, but I feel like with him, he just clicked with you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And that's the topic today.
Yeah.
Who do you click with? I click with GaryVee.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you guys attacked me by saying, "Oh, that guy's an idiot."
Nah.
You know,
We
I
didn't
don't
say
listen
that.
to him. You
We
guys
said
said
our
that. He said
opinions,
it.
how we
GaryVee.
feel.
Fuck them.
We're saying how we feel. I don't really click with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, can you lower the AC a little or whatever?
I can respect your decision for it though.
No, and that's the whole point of this conversation, right? I'm just saying why I got influenced by him.
Yeah.
He resonates with me because he talks about self-awareness, and it's right.
Mm-hmm.
I used to care what a lot of people thought about me. But we're never going to get we're never going to give 100% zero fucks about people, right? We're always going to care about somebody. There's always somebody in our lives that we care what they think about us.
How do you guys feel about GaryVee? I want to hear you guys' comments.
Yeah, comment, guys.
Because
Comment below, like it.
It turns out like this podcast is just about GaryVee. So
No, we're going to talk about
Carlos
other
motivates
people.
me.
Huh?
Carlos motivates me. I'm not
I could
gonna
see
lie.
that.
And that's the point. It doesn't have to be on social media. It can be people,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
People motivate people, I think. And then all the topics you're talking about, how GaryVee do to you, and I've heard different ones from different people. They all talk about the same thing, except some say it differently, I guess. You know what I mean?
Well, everybody says it different because everybody's different, right?
I feel like some other people say it more genuine than others. And
So you're saying,
damn it, I keep hitting this.
so you
fucking
saying GaryVee doesn't
thing.
come to you
I'm
off
not
as
saying
genuine?
that shit. There you go again. Fucking, now you're putting words in my mouth. I didn't say that.
Well, I
But-
like
But sometimes, yeah, it's true. It doesn't
So
feel
you're saying
like
you're not
genuine.
saying it, but you are saying
No,
it.
I wasn't
just
saying
say
it. Like,
it.
no,
Just say your
because-
opinion, bro.
look,
Just say
with
your
me-
opinion.
with me and him,
Yeah.
like I said, I could take some of his things.
Yeah.
I can't take the whole thing.
Same thing
Because-
when we listen to, what's that, the guy the black dude that runs a lot. What's his name?
Usain Bolt.
No,
Goggins?
Goggins.
Oh, that's Carlos's guy
That made
right
you
there.
laugh.
That's Carlos's guy right there.
Like with Goggins, you guys
Yeah.
put him up here, and I listen to some of his things,
Mm-hmm.
but I can't listen to him all day,
yeah,
right?
I can't either.
You know what I'm saying?
I like Kanye because I think, and this is like a super
Here
hot
we
take.
go again. Back with
Back with
Kanye.
Kanye.
I know.
Oh, shoes are ugly, bro.
Bro, because I know everyone could super disagree with me on this,
Yeah,
but I
talk
think
about it.
he's one of the most genuine people in Hollywood. And a lot of people would be like,
Can
no,
you
he's
explain
not.
why?
I think because
Give me an example.
Yeah.
any of his interviews, you could like sit down and see where like he's really in the zone of trying to get his point across. And like when people are trying to tap him out of it or get him out of it too.
Oh, the shoe guy? Is that
Yeah, the
him?
shoe guy.
Kanye
Yeah.
West, the shoe guy?
The shoe guy.
Actually,
That's all he does, right? Sell shoes?
I kind of agree with James too, because when I saw that Rogan one, like we're talking about it, like some parts it does make sense. Some of the conversation he had with Joe Rogan, some other parts he's fucking crazy, but
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I think
So-
it's all a part of the image though.
yeah,
I think that's what brings people in, but once you actually like get to sit down and hear what he's talking about, he's I think arguably like one of the biggest innovators in just the fashion industry, the art industry maybe too. And
you ever think it's crazy how some people actually view this as well to politics? I mean, you can see how some people would see that about Trump, you know?
yeah, I mean
About,
definitely.
like, and Biden about. So I guess it just depends who you resonate with.
Well, I mean,
but-
there was a ton of rappers repping Trump at the time. I mean, you had Lil Wayne, you had Ice Cube, you had like every rapper at the time that was from the West Coast.
They're
Or
getting tax benefits. Fuck yeah. I was too.
They all got businesses, and he was pro-business.
ASAP Rocky got released, Kodak Black got released. That was crazy to me. So
I guess what we're saying is we get motivated not only by people in our circle, but more or less some people that have big platforms.
Yeah.
Right?
So who's
GaryVee.
someone that motivates you right now, like that's not GaryVee? That's sitting in front of you.
To be honest,
Just kidding.
my wife motivates me.
Yeah.
She motivates me because she is consistent on what she does, and I'll tell her like what I think we should do as far as the next project. Like when she opened her gym, I tell her, "Hey, do this," and she does it because she believes in me. And so, not only does she do it, but she does it consistently. And so that's one thing that I am not. I'm very self-aware. Going back to, I'm not a consistent person. I'm not consistent on working out. I'm not consistent on my drawing. I'm not consistent. But what I am, I can work on my consistency, right? I'm not like at the level where I want to be. But I've done this so long that I've managed to be just as consistent as I need to be successful. I can always be better. And if I turn it up somehow and I just focus, it's going to be 100 times better, right? So that's who motivates me around here. But everybody here, dude, sometimes you motivate me on certain things. Like when Romeo comes in and he showed his consistency and his work ethic and the love that he brought back into tattooing, because I didn't think that existed anymore. I got motivated by that. You know what I'm saying? Tony, I got motivated by him by when he just quit his job, came in and went all in. That motivated me, saying like, damn, consistency. So the whole thing, the whole
I think it goes
idea
back
is
to
I see
consistency.
people that are consistent and I get motivated by them because I'm like, damn, they can do things. You know what I'm saying? I'm yet to see stuff from you. You know what I'm saying? We barely met you, so I can't talk about you, but I do like the maturity that you have. But everybody, that you take on painting, the what do you call it? The patience level to have that, because I cannot stand there fucking putting 10 layers into one little 1 inch by 1 inch. I can't do that. You know what I'm saying? So but above all, somebody that if you say, who do you listen to on a daily? Every time I leave here, I got 15-minute drive. And
Must be nice.
I put on fucking GaryVee and I listen to it because he has so much content. And it helps me understand how to be better as a shop owner, as a tattoo artist, as a co-worker, because he says so many aspects of that. He hardly ever talks about crypto, to be honest, But we all have to, the beautiful thing about it is we can all be motivators too.
yeah.
There's people that are going to listen to us and be like, man, I hear all your stuff and I'm motivated by you. Who's to say just because you have a big platform, you have to be a motivator? We all can be motivators.
I agree. There's
I mean, we've gotten messages from it, like, just because we're on a certain level doesn't mean there's other people underneath us trying to get to that level. You know what I mean? So you could be a motivation to them. And then you inspire to get bigger while they get inspired to get, raised with you as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is inspiring. There's this one dude that I would watch actually that I mean, he's pretty big now, but do you guys
Logan
know?
Paul?
Nah. Do you guys know about Nardwar?
No.
I think he's like the coolest interviewer there is. Like,
Nardwar?
yeah, he's like this short,
Carlos
like,
knows him.
curly haired dude who wears like super bright, kind of like leprechaun looking clothes, but he interviews like some famous people. And
Okay, dressing like him, Nardwar.
yeah,
okay.
he started off with his first interview ever was with Kurt Cobain, and that's when he was like in his teens. And yeah, his talks are super inspirational. You could see like he's going around with like a camcorder recording this, and he would like sell his stuff on VHSs, just trying to get into as many doors as he could as possible. And he doesn't look like anybody that would be in the scene.
So he's like a no jumper.
No, he's like totally the opposite of that.
No?
Because
You gotta get no jumper, dog.
he's honestly like pretty inspiring in the way that
What
he would.
the hell? That's him?
That's him, dude. That's Nardwar.
Oh, I can't stand his clothes. I wouldn't even listen to him.
But dude, he's trust me, he's cool. Like he would go to any interviewer, and he has like these crazy gifts for all of them.
His
And,
look is just even off, dude. Like, I wouldn't even listen to him.
GaryVee listener. So but the thing is,
Damn.
You know what I say? You know what I said that, right?
Put a little animation right here of a bomb. Just go.
Hey, you know what? Maybe GaryVee doesn't even know who this, or maybe he does know who he is, man. I don't
probably
know.
does.
he's been around.
If he's
for,
in hip hop, because GaryVee is also like really into the hip hop scene too.
Damn.
yeah, but like Snoop Dogg with like modern day Snoop Dogg, that doesn't count.
No, he was. He would he's the modern day Snoop Dogg.
No, like he works with modern day Snoop Dogg. Like Snoop's just a sellout. Like Snoop Dogg has like so many companies to count. Like he even has some like Coco Melon for children.
Well, you know what he's trying to do as well is
Why is he a sellout?
Dude, he just does
He's
anything.
a sellout to who?
Anything and everything.
Can you be more
Damn, this is
specific?
getting nice.
But he's self-aware though. You could listen to him talk, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm one of the most marketable rappers there is. Like I'm funny. Like I'm laid back. Like I'm marketable." He's on like literally. He's on a Bic lighter with what's that white cook from like the Food Network? Yeah, they have like lighters with each other, selling with like they're like buddy. Like Snoop Dogg isn't some promoted hardcore gangster anymore.
Well, I
Yeah,
feel like he needed to change, and he
You
saw
need
that.
to change.
Yeah, but
He
like
adapted.
even
You have to
Dre's
adapt.
Dre's a billionaire, and he's still repping that gangster look, and he still does everything that he needs to do.
Who'd you say?
Dr. Dre.
Motherfuckers living in
Bro, he
Calabasas.
fucking plays golf with all these rich people.
But he sold beats. He made beats, and that got him into the world. He
What
made
does
like
Snoop sell? Lyrics.
exactly.
He sold himself.
Yeah, but there's
What is that a difference?
no Snoop. I'm
He
telling,
created a brand from himself, though.
Yeah, but it's just like
And now he owns
not
Def
with
Jam.
what he used to be brought up as. You could still look at Dr. Dre and be like, oh yeah, he's a producer. He sells one of the best
He's a seller for
quality
making beats
speakers.
and putting his name on it and making millions.
But it's like a product
I'm being
that's
sarcastic.
more.
He's not a sellout, bro. He's just look. Here's what they're doing, bro. They're understanding that, however they started their business,
Mm-hmm.
right? They're rapping or whatever. They created this community of people that follow them,
Mm-hmm.
that they like whatever they pull out. Somebody comes in and says, "Hey, Snoop, how about you fucking sell this? All your community would buy it."
But he does it on everything.
So what?
That's cool, but
That's
like
the thing. Like,
Elvis did it.
I hate when people say, "Huh?"
Elvis did it.
Well, he didn't do it. No, I don't think he did it. I think
Hey, watch the movie one time, and all of a sudden,
I didn't see it. That was a long ass movie. No, but like, what's wrong with building up such a community and then saying, "Hey, by the way,"
so you don't agree with what he's gonna do next? Is sell the Def Jam things on NFTs? So now you can only listen to he took
his
all,
albums and his
yeah
songs,
he took all the
they're all
albums
gonna
from
be NFTs.
Def
You have to
Jam
buy them or
down
something like
from
that.
Apple Music and from Spotify, and now
bro,
you
if he
can-
wants to like commit career suicide, go at it. You
mean,
know,
sorry,
that's the
dude.
way I look at it.
To a certain market that is romantic to the way it used to be. See, and I think I'm hearing that from you. You like the way it
Well,
used to be.
I think it's cool that you can do whatever you want to do as long as you stay true to the character and the brand that you're actually selling. Snoop Dogg just does literally anything. He has like a kids channel. He has like yeah, like it's literally like, how do I put it? It's like Chuck E. Cheese, but him. It's like a Snoop Dogg, and he raps
shit.
to kids. Like it's, I don't know, man. It's one of those things where it's like you see all these other when you put it into perspective, you look at Dre. Dre was in it for the long game, and I think what he did was he added value to his name instead of decreasing the value. You get me?
I would argue Snoop brought more eyes to hip hop by doing that kind of stuff.
He did, but I don't think it's the right
So you
kind
don't-
of
So what do you
vibe.
say about Ice Cube?
So you want hip hop to be a
Huh?
What do you say about Ice Cube?
I mean,
He went from fucking music to one of the best writers.
but
to
let me say
fucking
this:
acting.
So
he
movie.
also made Friday. Like he was in Friday and all these other things that were, of its time and were decent. They weren't like hardcore trash, dumpster fires of movies. People still go back and they like these
Snakes on the
products.
Plane? Snoop? What is that called? Or Plane?
Soul Plane.
Soul Plane? I don't know why I said snake. Huh?
But he also made those
Soul
Are We
Plane?
There Yet kind of movies.
Yeah,
That's
he
good
did, but that
movies.
was his fall off. Like that was where he stopped acting though, too, right?
No.
Kinda. He had like a big gap between.
So
he got back
Kanye
into Hollywood.
is like your favorite rapper, you said, right? You
I
said
think
it.
so because I think throughout the years he's just been able to elevate his product even more and like widen his vision with his products, and I think they all kind of intertie with each other. He's so big on quality checks, and that makes everything so expensive. But as someone who has bought his products before, I could tell you that
Bro, he
like,
makes his shoes for 50 cents and sells them for fucking 300.
where'd you hear that?
Huh?
Where'd you hear that?
Those foam sliders and all that.
Oh well,
Yeah,
okay. So there's a
and those
controversy
foam
going
shoes
right
and all
now with
that.
Adidas because they're taking ownership of kind of the shoes and everything like that. But at the time, he actually bought this is where I'm fanboying right now. He bought like a huge property in Wyoming, and it's like hundreds of acres long, and he's actually making all of the fabrics through the farm and making everything like eco. And it was just like labor expenses that made the clothes so expensive, and that's why he teamed up with Gap. And he's been teaming up with a lot of companies to outsource the manufacturing.
This is going back to China.
Well, it's not made in China, but it's getting to made in the US, and he's wanting to do everything on his own time. That's why it's
I think
in
he's going to
Wyoming
make
as
them in
well.
China, come back and just put the brand made in the US.
Bro, you don't want to know what I just read right now.
What's up? Let's hear it.
Just busting your balls.
On
bro.
Coindesk.com, business says once resistant Kanye West files NFT trademark applications.
This is true, but you could like hear him publicly talk about it. He's like, I hate him.
But I'm going to do them.
Well, it's for a sports team.
So he's a sellout.
No, in my opinion.
You see what I'm saying? Like, I get what you're saying. And I know disrespect to what you're saying about how you see because obviously when we had a conversation,
Because the last thing I'll say about that is it is related to a sports team where then how we talked about it like in the beginning, it's a ticket.
yeah.
And then that's when I can agree with it.
So you would buy a Kanye West NFT?
No.
No?
No,
If they
I
came
would
up with a
I would
contract
never.
that you
What if
could
that?
see 'em?
What if that had that the membership involved with this said you can go to his concerts unlimitedly?
Well, then I'm buying a subscription.
Well, that's what an NFT is, bro. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah, but
That's
I
just
don't like
said-
the idea of buying like everybody has a subscription.
Well,
Like,
not everybody, because he's gonna have
everybody
a limited
will
amount.
though. Everybody totally will for all their concerts.
There's only 10,000 Bored Apes. You know how many millions of people would want that?
Yeah, but like my point is anybody can start their own NFT, right? So that's why all these artists that are doing it, once the ball starts rolling, like everybody's gonna have a subscription. There's already like all these streaming services when it comes to Netflix,
Right.
Paramount.
Anybody can tattoo. Does that mean everybody's gonna be a great tattoo artist? No.
Yeah, but doesn't that like ruin the industry, you think?
No.
Why? Because I can go get a cheap tattoo down the road.
You can?
Yeah, exactly. You get me though? Like that's one of those things as an artist you could be like, oh yeah, then go do it. But a lot of people still do. Like there's a lot of like
But I think that's where
smaller
you start.
shops
It goes
now.
back to just branding yourself. You start finding the same thing Snoop Dogg did, the same thing. What's it called? Dre did. You gotta do as an artist as well. You're branding yourself so you can have your own community where people are gonna go to you because of your work.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how many people could go fucking to a Kanye concert, but they might want to go to a Kid Cudi concert because it's cheaper?
Well, okay, I get you, but
Yeah.
the whole
Is
ideology.
it cheaper? I don't know. I thought they were the same.
Nah, Kanye.
Huh? I thought they were the same. I thought
I just
Kid
said
Cudi
that
was-
because I saw there was like a fucking argument about Kanye dropping off and they brought in Kid Cudi.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, I just think it's one of those arguments too where you could just sit back and be like, well, if you're a Republican, how does Trump make all the Republicans look like? You get me? It's just one of those things that does somewhat affect the industry to a certain extent when it comes
Oh
to
yeah,
perception.
I agree. If there's people, if there's a guy out there doing shitty tattoos, right?
And they are on
he's
TikTok.
killing it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but TikTok,
Like-
we'll go into TikTok a little bit.
Bad tattoos are
And let's
thing
say
now.
this guy made funny videos,
Yes.
right? And he has 1 million followers on TikTok, 1 million on. He has a high platform, and now he decides, I'm bored of this shit. I'm gonna make tattoos and kill it. I'm gonna make shitty tattoos and kill it. Do you think that diminishes the tattoo industry, or do you think that betters it? What are you guys' opinion?
I feel like it makes it harder for us because now we gotta fix that shit.
Yeah. Or I feel like it's bad if you continue to stay the same you are. The
So
same
I actually
way
went
you are.
into this too. Like, where's those fucking kids that are famous on TikTok?
I don't know their names.
Pointy hairs.
Oh, the Island Boys.
Island Boys, there you go.
Island Boy.
So the Island Boys, I saw they posted a video with them and their tattoo artist. So I clicked on tattoo artist. Tattoo artist, not that great. Pretty bad. Anyways, he draws his things and they ask him a question because he can reply to those questions. They ask a question, why don't you just stencil instead of fucking trying to draw everything? And he tried to promote himself in a way like, oh, it's because it's my art and people want my art, so that's what I give them. Even though the fucking eye is like this big and this eye is small and, kind of shit like that. So is that considered a brand right there?
I would argue yes. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
So does that allow him to do shitty tattoos and be a positive thing?
But who's the gatekeeper on what's shitty and what's not?
Well, I think there needs to be a certain level of depth to it because you could look at like Gene, like Basquiat, you get me? And people would like write that. You don't know Basquiat, the painter?
No.
That worked with like Warhol and he made like the scribble paintings. He was like,
I gotta see
How
one.
do you spell it?
I gotta see one of the art.
I'm how do you say it? Gene Michael Basquiat. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right.
Gene Michael?
But he's one of the innovators in the paint world.
The
but
splatters.
no, it was a lot more abstract. It looks like a kid's drawing. It's not like splatters. That was more
Let me see.
oh, we're looking at t-shirts.
I put images, bro.
Put painting.
Because his stuff sells for like 50 million. He's one of check that out.
Oh, okay, yeah. So he's like around the whole Picasso era.
Yeah, and he was one of the innovators with Warhol. And
now I know who you're
pop
fucking
art.
influenced by. I see a lot of your work like this, kind of.
Yeah, well, I really do like him. I think he's very of his time, and I think his stuff does have depth to it. And I think you can build a brand around stuff like that if it's all done correctly. I mean, you look at his stuff and like gallery wise, I think it's beautiful, and there's you could tell that only someone like him could have done it. I think when it comes down to that, yeah, like that's cool. But
I think what we're saying is we all have a subjective view of what's good to us.
I think what's cool about him is that he was just trying to perfect that look, though. Even though people wrote it off as not being like theirs, he just made it better as it went on, but still staying true to himself. And I think if you do that, like as an artist with all those bad tattoos, if you still want to have like, I guess that style that people really like and everything like that, that's cool. But I think as long as you get better during the process, that's fine. That's just me, though.
So what if you don't get better?
Oh, I just think you suck, dude. You should find something else.
So what determines if you got better or not?
Huh?
What determines that?
You don't scab people up.
Well, I mean, obviously, yeah, that's a given, right? If going back to that TikToker, start doing shitty tattoos and he's killing it, and he decides to do them at $1,000 a pop, and they're like small, right? But because it has this big community of followers that liked all his funny,
I think people catch on, though.
People are gonna jump into it.
Well, I think
right?
people catch on in the sense that they'll want to stop giving them the money, or people will read in between the lines. You know, it only takes a couple
if he's seen as he's not genuine, but if he genuinely decides like, I'm really tired of making you guys laugh over here, I really want to start tattooing, but his level cannot pass what we call a decent
with
side.
this guy
Let's
that
say
we're talking about, I think he does take it serious. Like that's his main fucking source of income.
the artist guy.
Yeah, he's not doing it for fun or nothing. That's his main source of income. And I mean, again, I don't know if he's serious about, okay, this is how I tattoo because this is how people want it. He draws it on with the marker real quick.
I'm gonna have my daughter just draw a bunch of shit. It's kind of similar.
And
Just kidding, bro.
so yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, does that separate that?
I mean, dude, he obviously, if he's selling his paintings for this while he's
I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about the other guy.
Oh, you're going back to him?
Yeah.
What was your question? Because I was looking at this mermaid, and I was like, dude,
That's dope.
Go
You
ahead.
know how hard it is to do something like that?
Doesn't seem that hard, bro.
Ah,
Fucking couple lines and some circles and
that's pretty hard. That's
Well-
what they said about Pablo Picasso.
Yeah, I mean, at the time, he was the only dude that was making things that looked like that.
Yeah.
You know,
he was a
so-
pioneer in this.
Yeah, so it was one of those things where like you saw it, and I mean, it was like, yeah, anybody could have done it, but he was the one who did
Yeah,
it. You get me?
consistently.
Yeah, consistently. And it was one of those things too. He was super young. I think he died with like 20. He's part of the 27 Club.
Mm.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah, he overdosed, and I mean, he's just a big artist in New York, but like a part of the culture because he was a part of Warhol's kind of warehouse. Are you guys familiar with how he would just hire a ton of artists,
Yeah.
get them to paint all day? So yeah, he was. I think for a certain amount of time he was in there. He was making some stuff, and then Warhol just they started collaborating or yeah.
He stole his ideas.
Well,
No, just kidding.
no, I actually really think it's a weird history the two have. Warhol really tried elevating his art to the art world, and
I mean, because Warhol, he wasn't a good artist. He was a good marketer.
yeah, definitely.
And then he was a good artist. So
Ooh.
they kind of combined together. It just made it even better.
hmm I wouldn't be quoted on that if he was working for him because I think at some time as well he had some kind of his own buzz.
Well,
he
yeah,
was
even if they
getting there.
collaborated, you know what I mean?
But most of his main pieces that go down like is the
Yeah.
ones, yeah.
You're looking
Like
at
that goes
I'm
with
Warhol.
like
looking at Warhol, yeah.
He's the one that did the soups. He got really famous for the soups. So he did a lot of stenciling stuff, but he marketed
Oh,
it.
this right here?
He was one of the people that
like
did
Keith
like a whole
Haring, I
wall.
guess. Are
He
you
did a
guys
whole
aware
wall.
of him?
fucking just Campbell's soups. And he's one of the first artists to actually. Well, I don't know if he's one of the first, but he's a pioneer that started going into marketing for like magazines and TV and
Yeah,
all that.
he was.
So that's what I'm saying. He's a really good marketer, Andy Warhol. But I don't know about that they're collabing together. This
So do
right here.
people consider him as a great artist?
I would think so.
I've heard his name, but I don't know
They
much
consider
about
him as a pioneer. That's what you got famous for.
a pioneer of a certain style.
Yeah.
I think his style had some depth to it for as simple as it was. It was just like really interesting to see why he did the things.
And it wasn't
way he
like he
did.
was creating it. He was just manipulating everyday images.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like the
Where-
soups, Marilyn Monroe kind of thing like that. I mean, Carlos, you could weigh into this, right? How do you feel about? He fucking hates
Oh, really?
Andy Warhol. No.
Yeah, I do like Basquiat a lot more than I do like Warhol, but
That's gay. So who else influences you guys? Who else do you find? Because we can go back to my dog,
Nah,
my
how
Dizzo.
about we don't?
do you guys know about do you guys like Keith Haring or nah? He's huge
I
too.
don't know who that is.
Oh, really? He was just some guy who would he was like limited by his art style. He would go around on the subways and draw stick figures, but he would draw them by like the hundreds and like holding hands or dancing or doing a lot of things like that. So he would go around the city and you could see like these huge murals done by him. And they were so simple. And he would sit down and be like, I can't draw, you know, but he was selling stuff for millions and millions of dollars as well. And he was just a good marketer and he stayed within his like artistic.
Maybe the question we
Limitations.
should ask is like, what do you look for when somebody influence somebody, or when you look for somebody? What do you look for when? What's the question? How should I ask it?
I like the drive of these people.
Yeah, what is the aspect that you like when somebody influences you? If you look back at the people, so for you said drive,
They had
drive,
the self-awareness
the-
of all of them as well.
the relentless, like not stopping, right? Like if you start this scribbling thing,
Mhm.
everybody does fine arts painting.
And he was
I'm gonna just scribble and
you're
I'm gonna
gonna-
be relentless at it, and then it becomes popular. So you respect that?
yeah, I think it was so cool that that's the thing you ran around promoting, like the scribbles. People, I mean, you know, stuff that people didn't really think it was that impressive, but
Like
So
he
like
was,
a Van Gogh.
yeah,
like he was all in on that. Like
Yeah.
he never ventured towards another way. He never. So I'm seeing a pattern here. You feel like he was true to himself, right?
kind of like underdogs. I feel like he's the Van Gogh that made it. You get me? That actually reaped the benefits of what he did instead of
He
just.
died young.
He did die young, but I mean, Van Gogh died old and never got anything.
That's true.
So
So like, there's influencers in fitness. There's influencers in the car industry. You know, in the tattoo industry. There's influencers, right? I find like I gravitate towards the business aspect, right? That's why I feel like And it's not only him, because I listen to Grant Cardone. I listen to Brad. What's his last name?
Lee.
Brad Lee, because he's a salesman. So, and the Wolf of Wall Street, the guy, he has a podcast. So I listen to a lot of those, right? And I'll jump back and forth because, you know, sometimes I'll listen to some new stuff from another guy other than GaryVee, and I'm like, all right, I'll listen to him because I want to learn stuff about business, right? So that's what I get influenced for. Which other ones do you guys think of when you were listening to, like Rogan?
I don't really listen to Rogan.
No?
I think I listen to Rogan more for the entertainment than the actual what he says. Does that make sense? Like I wouldn't say I fucking
The
listen
interaction,
to
maybe you're
yeah,
saying.
just like,
Because
if I'm
what
bored,
he
I'll
says
fucking
is
put him on.
entertainment,
Yeah,
right?
I want to see him more as a motivational thing or anything that inspires.
No,
me
I
to
don't never
fucking
see motivation.
go.
Like, to him, it's just like the interaction with that guest, right? He's very good with that.
But I'll go back to him, like how I said, like what connects me to someone else's would be how you said the genuine of someone, how you actually feel that person is. You know what I mean? I could connect someone that I feel like is actually talking to me, and I feel like that's a lot of people, especially if it's with so many people coming out right now with TikTok and fucking Instagram and all that. Whatever happened to that one dude that fucking kept promoting, that had glasses and fucking would always promote about his cars and fucking living in big ass houses? He disappeared.
No, he's still there, but now he has businesses. You're talking about what's his name?
Because
Hey guys, I'm in my garage.
Yeah,
that guy.
yeah, you know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
I know exactly.
Because he never
Lamborghini
really seemed genuine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like that's why people don't really connect to him as much either. He's not around anymore.
Well, I mean, he was rich before he was a personality as well.
Was he though?
Yeah, he was like, he owns a lot of nightclubs in LA, like a lot of them. So he was just making.
I heard that
racks.
he would
What's his
fucking
name?
rent a lot of shit out.
Well, there you go too. I'm not
Yeah.
sure what's up with him, but from my knowledge, yeah, that's what I heard.
That's what I was hearing. That he was just renting everything out and fucking taking videos like the same way fucking
his
some
name,
rappers
Carlos?
do nowadays. You know?
Oh yeah, well, I mean, yeah, the Lil Tay.
Lil Tay.
Shout out Lil
What the fuck we
Tay.
gotta figure out. So you guys care about genuineness?
I would say that.
Right?
I would say most people do. I would say most people connect.
Can we
to-
argue that genuine, the amount of genuineness you see on it can be determined differently from us three each?
Personality wise, yeah.
Well, yeah, that's why
what I'm
everybody
saying?
connects to
Like,
someone different.
That's what I'm saying. You guys don't think, my influencers, the ones that I get motivate me, are genuine to that aspect. We can listen to other ones and I could be like, well, no, he doesn't sound genuine to me. Like that dude, what's that other dude, the came out of jail? That
Watson?
we've been hyped on? Wes Watson?
That's
Well,
Tony's guy.
That's Tony. He likes listening to him,
Yeah.
right? 'Cause he gets some things from him. Me personally, but I have listened to his stuff. Is Andrew Tate, right? He's been like viral on social media with his theories about masculinity and misogynist.
So
ideas.
who would he fucking attract?
Good question.
You know what I mean? So who is his target audience? Obviously, it's not females.
No, it's men.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, maybe some females, dude. Because some of the female interviewers that interviewed him blew up.
Well, I mean, they're following the clout. I mean, he has a great marketing thing.
I think
His marketing thing was he paid so many influencers and he paid so many videographers to upload skits of his thing so he could be so, especially on TikTok, every other video
Relevant.
was him. Yeah.
And that was a pump and dump too.
Yeah, that was a pump. Fuck yeah.
But that's the name of the game. Though.
And that's
Going
how he
back to
got-
the beginning of the topic,
Bro, it's gonna become like super illegal soon, and people are gonna be like, people are gonna be responsible for all these projects that they're starting up and asking money for. There's gonna be some loopholes that are gonna be tied in where people are gonna start opening lawsuits. If
Well, I
people
mean,
lose
crypto
all
already
their money,
is like that because crypto, there's a lot of pump and dump. What happened to fucking?
but when you start involving contracts in it, now it's different. Like you said, with the NFTs and everything that was going on. Once you sign something and now you own something and now there's some kind of like consumer biased with
Yeah.
someone selling you something. Now someone has rights in the situation.
but that's how we're not talking about NFTs.
All right, we'll get over that. But that,
What I'm
Andrew
saying
Tate was
is,
doing it too.
At the end of the day, you just described a strategy.
yeah,
That's the thing. Getting attention is a strategy.
So what do you do after that? You get that attention.
You monetize it.
Okay.
Why the hell are why does anybody go on YouTube? Do
Yeah.
they do it just to be on YouTube?
Yeah.
But he did all
I
that,
like being on YouTube.
and then
Not if we're dead broke. We can't afford the man in the back of the camera.
Shit, we did it with our phones before.
I say it again. Not if we're dead broke. We can't even pay. What if we're not making any money?
We did it
If
with
we're
our
not
phones
making any
before.
money, no, if we're not making tattoo money, we can't even do our podcast. Like a YouTube channel does not just generate free. That's wrong. You know what I'm saying? Anybody, it costs money, it costs equipment, it costs fees to upload into
YouTube now.
different to upload our stuff into the
YouTube?
that tree. What do you call it? The link tree, huh? Yeah, it costs money. What is it? $15 a month? It's $15, bro. It's not free. Everything has a cost, right? So there's always an agenda. GaryVee has an agenda. He needs to sell shit. Kanye West has an agenda. He needs to sell shit.
it's how you sell shit.
Right. So that's where the difference is. Some people don't care. They just want to buy the Yeezys because they're the latest and the greatest, and it's a status symbol.
That too.
So I'm walking in with Yeezys. People are going to perceive that I have this status. Correct?
So when are you gonna buy a GaryVee ticket?
I don't know. Never. I guess
So
I
it
just-
doesn't motivate you as much to buy a ticket to go see him.
I don't think I have to. I do tattoos, and I'm not motivated to get a tattoo. So maybe he doesn't. I'm not fully in all the way in, but I like what he says. And there's no rule on YouTube to say, "Hey, if you listen to me, you gotta buy my shit."
If you watch an ad, you're paying them.
You know what I'm saying? What happened?
If you watch an ad, you're paying them.
Then I'll watch ads all day long. But I don't pay for ads, so no. But I have. What did I buy? I bought his books. I have like 3 books.
Have you read him?
I read 2 of them. Jab, jab, right
All the way?
hook.
What's your guys' favorite books? That's a cool question.
GaryVee's jab, jab, right hook.
Oh man.
What else? What about yours? What's your favorite?
I would say Fight Club or Train Spotting.
What are they about?
Fight Club. Well, have you seen the movie?
Oh, it's that book from the movie.
Yeah, but the book is way crazier than the movie
Why?
is.
Why? What do you like? You just like the storyline?
Well, it's not about fighting at all. It's more about philosophy and kind of just more about what it's like being raised. Yeah, perception on consumerism and politics. And then for people who just don't think much of it, that's why it's like a Fight Club. Yeah, it's like it's nothing deeper than that.
I just saw the movie Fighter. Have you seen it with what's that young guy? The guy from it's an old movie with
It's like 2000 movie.
2009.
Yeah,
They fight.
We saw it here.
They fight in like rich areas.
Yeah.
And it's just a group of people. Yeah.
They actually caught
Channing
Bro,
Tatum. Yeah.
I think they caught some university. I don't remember what it was, Yale or some shit. They were doing that shit.
That's a thing, I guess. Huh?
Yeah, they're actually promoting it with flyers and all that. So they'll go to like one of those stacks or the fraternity things,
Yeah.
and they'll have a fight club.
Wow.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy.
But
Anyways, go back to that.
yeah,
my
what's your
favorite book?
favorite book
I like I'll say
that you read all the way? Fuck
I've actually read it twice, and I'm
Which
about to
one?
read it 3 times.
Which one? I'm gonna Google it.
A Place to Stand by Jimmy Santiago. He's actually the one that wrote Blood In, Blood Out as well. He actually comes out in the movie. He's the one with the big ass eyebrows that just stands in the back and doesn't say shit.
What is that movie about? I mean,
The book?
The book about?
It's mostly like a biography. It's about his life, how he his mom left his dad and them. Huh? Did you? You like it? I liked it just because it was really I thought it was a crazy ass story, and it seemed like if he was able to get out of some fucking place like that to where he's at now, I mean, what is stopping anyone else from doing it? You know? He was able to, since his dad and his dad got arrested, I think. It's been a while since I read it. His dad got arrested, and he became a warrant of state. So he lived in jail as a kid. And then grew up in the whole jail system. And he didn't know how to read or nothing. He kind of taught himself how to read and write, and then ended up writing poetry. And that's how he became big. And when he got out, then he started writing movies and, again, wrote Blood In, Blood Out.
So you guys like to read books that entertain you guys, right? And learn something from, as far as, or just hear stories. Because me,
I think learn from too.
if I'm not learning, like right now, that's my whole thing, just about business. I'm fucking consumed in it right now, right? If that's the only kind of books I like to read, you know. But I can't. I can't.
So you wouldn't read a book about like tattooing, how to better your craft?
Yeah, I read one a barbering book, actually. It's called The Millionaire Barber, and what caught my attention was like the story that I'm gonna say you just replace any business with it and it applies, and that's how I read that one. But like a book like this, if you told me, hey, read a Place to Stand, bro, it's a pretty good story, I'd be like, is it about business? No, okay, I'm not gonna read it because that's my focus right now. I don't have that much time off tattooing that I can read so many books or whatever, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I like to be just focused on that. That's why I watch podcasts and I listen to that. So, but we all have our agenda, you know, our not agendas, our what's the word?
So what's your agenda?
My agenda in life?
So it's I know tattooing for you is just the vehicle to get to the whatever.
No, well, tattooing is something that I found that I can make a good living off of. Am I like in love with tattooing? I'm not. I'm in love with what's in it. Like I'm in love. Well, maybe that's what is tattooing,
The culture of tattooing.
right? I don't really care about the culture, to be honest.
But just being a part
Cares
of it.
about
You
the
don't
money.
think?
I care about I
Are they
need to
gonna
make
pay
money.
you? Are they gonna pay you?
If
Then
I was a
no.
millionaire, I would tattoo for free.
Well, I'm just thinking about like the
Nah,
benefits
I
of
don't
just
believe
being
Huh?
your own person. You know,
What was that?
like being your own artist. Is that what, like just having your own time to do and
No,
set your
'cause-
appointments in that way, or you're working?
The flexibility. Yeah,
Yeah,
I like
that's what
the
I meant.
flexibility. But I found that it's a avenue that I can make a good living off of, and I like meeting people. I guess that's my thing. I like meeting people.
Mhm.
Like anybody knows here, I'm like the person that's always out there getting to know people. You know what I'm saying? I'm an extrovert. And I found that tattooing not only can allow me to do that, and I'm good at it, and I make good money off of it. So, but I don't plan on tattooing forever. I want to just eventually get to a point where I don't have to tattoo for a living. You know what I'm saying? So whatever, how long that takes, I have a goal in mind. But yeah, I don't do it like other people. Like, oh man, tattooing is my life. You know, this is what it's about. I respect that. Follow
Just
that. You know
shitting
what I'm
on
saying?
James.
But
No, I'm just
I
kidding.
go back to, huh?
Nothing.
No, I'm not throwing at anybody. But I go back to it, like if tattooing is your life and you're not making any money off of it, then you're gonna be one broke happy tattooer.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But you can't create something that you aspire to. You can't grow. You need to make that financial part, and that's why part of this podcast is the IQ project is why we do it, to help people understand that there has to be a financial part of your passion so that it can grow.
Yeah.
It can't grow. Passion can't just grow just by doing it. There has to be money injected into it so you can help others, you know?
That was definitely an incentive. You know,
You know what I'm saying?
going down that path.
Sorry, I thought my kids were coming.
Yeah,
in.
that's what I
I was
thought
like,
too. I was like-
well, that wraps it up. But I don't know. What is your agenda? You threw that to me. What's your agenda? Yeah, there you
I
go,
didn't think about
fucker.
it.
Come on. Tick.
Um,
What's your agenda? Why do you listen to stuff and why, you know?
honestly, going back to tattooing, for me, I like it. I like it. I like being creative on it. I like the lifestyle it gives me where I have more of a choice of what I could do and what I want to do, and it makes me happy, right? Yes, it gives me.
Do you do it for the money?
monetary- Huh? I mean, there has to be money involved, like you said. You know what I mean?
So you do it for the money?
Yeah, everybody does it for the money.
Oh, okay. Just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, you're trying to put me under the bus, huh? No.
Hey, you threw me under the bus.
No, I mean, obviously, yeah. I have to
Everybody
get
does it
paid
for the
my
money. Nobody's going to say it out there. I don't give a fuck. I'll say it.
But like I said, I do see myself obviously not tattooing as much as I do now, but I do see myself tattooing later. You know what I mean? I want to focus more on another different aspect later on as I go older, around your age, where I don't have to tattoo as much. Stop laughing, Carlos. I could transition
Bro.
to more of a painting kind of.
Bro, your back's older than mine, bro. You're
my-
always fucking crippling.
my
if you're gonna
back is-
attack me on my age,
My
let's
back is
attack on the
horrible.
way.
No, my back. I'll admit it
Guys,
100%. My back
this
is fucking
fucker-
horrible, and that's why I don't see myself tattooing as much. But I still can see myself tattooing in the future. And
Yeah,
yes,
I don't want
want
to be
go
60
into
and tattooing because I have to pay bills. Fuck that.
yeah. So that's another thing. I don't want to. I want to get to the point. I guess that's my agenda. I don't want to get to the point where I have to tattoo because I need to pay bills. I want to tattoo because I want to tattoo.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And how do you do that?
What do you mean?
How do you get to that point? How do you get to that end goal?
I'm trying to see if he's trying to fuck me.
No, I'm not fucking with you. I want people to understand that we all can put a vision out there.
Yeah.
But have you calculated the steps on how to get there? Like me,
Yeah.
I don't want to tattoo past 45.
Mhm.
So how do I do that? I don't just say it. So what that's gonna be
You got
involve
2
me.
years, dog.
It's gonna
You got 2 years.
I got 4 years.
Aren't you 42?
No, I'm gonna be 42 in October. Shout out to the Scorpios. So here's what it is. I don't want to tattoo past 45. I mean, I do, but only cool things that I want to do. Not I have to tattoo to tattoo. Do you get me? But by 45, what does that mean? So that means I have to make a certain amount of money at 45 that I don't have to be here every day, you know? So, okay, so I thought about, all right, I need X amount of money a month to live off of, where I can enjoy my freedom, you know, vacation here and there, pay my bills, pay my car, pay my mortgage or whatever. Or maybe by then I'll have a mortgage, right? So after I make that X amount of money, then okay, so how do I get there? Let's go back to that. So I have a plan. I need to have my businesses running and making X amount of money each month so that I don't have to worry about that. You know what I'm saying? So from here on, I'm building businesses till 45. And I just thought about this about a year ago. I was like, shit, dude, tattooing 6 days a week is a fucking drain sometimes. You know, you haven't experienced it that long, you know what I'm saying? But it's going to get to that point. And we told Romeo this too. Like, you're going to get to a point in tattooing where you're going to feel like
It's a job.
it's a job. And Romeo was like, I don't know how you feel about this, but Romeo said, well, I never want to get to that. I'm like, you will, because any passion becomes a job after once the pressures of bills, you know, once you start making some money and you stack it up, what are you going to go do? You're going to go buy a car. What are you going to go do? You're going to go buy a house. Then that becomes responsibility. Now you have to work in this passion to make these bills, right? So then those pressures make this hobby not as fun. Now you can change it up by doing different cool stuff that you like to do, which is fun. But at the end of the day, you still have these pressures, right? Now, if you don't want to make it about these pressures, then don't commit to certain like financial responsibilities, like big things like a car or a job, you know what I'm saying? Or a house. So my thing is, going back, is like the plan for me is grow those businesses to a certain amount of money where now I just have freedom. And obviously if I go and fucking try to make a big business that requires a lot more investment, then I have to go back to tattooing and tattoo again. Does that make sense? So it all depends where you want to be is how much you need. You know what I'm saying? So you got to know where you're going. Mm-hmm. So that's why I asked you, okay, you want to tattoo? You don't want to tattoo at 60. Well, what are you going to do from here to then? You can't just say it. Mm-hmm. You have to put plans in place. You know what I'm saying? What about you?
Well,
I know you're starting and you're the, you know.
yeah, it's definitely one of those things where like, I feel like, you know, I want to do a lot more than just tattoo. I mean, I love tattooing and it's a part of what I want to do, but I've always been super into clothes, super into writing. I think like something that ties back to like a magazine or like some kind of clothing brand in some kind of way would.
So you want to be a
pretty cool
mini
to me.
GaryVee?
You know, you brought up a good point. Not every, okay.
But that's a part of what I'm already selling to begin with. You get me? I mean, it's all art related at that point. And I feel like, yeah, it's one of those things where like I would
just want to
want
be creative with your what do you want to do?
Yeah, and I mean, I have like small things, you know. that me and my friends have been working up to. We have shirts and we have posters and mock-ups, designs. We have a website. We have accounts up for it already. We have some pop-ups like in the works for sure. We know some people that like have been a part of the process and have their things going as well. So I mean, they're just all different worlds for sure. And I've been in it enough to a certain extent to know that I enjoy it. There's a lot of things that I still kind of want to run after. Yeah.
You enjoy it so much that when those pressures come in, because let's say you guys commit, to thousands of dollars in merch, right? And now you have it stocked in your house and now you got to sell it. There's a pressure there.
Well, I mean, that's why
You know what I'm
we've been looking at it from such a point where, I mean, a lot of people that have been helping us are a lot older and have kind of their things rolling as well. So we've been trying to take as much advice without just going out completely and doing it. So we're not doing it to an extent where we'd have like inventory on backhand. Everything's just print on demand. So we've been doing it to an extent where it's like we're doing drops of like specific
that's the new
designs.
wave right now. You do
Yeah.
drops and you just make it limited edition and only a certain amount. I get that,
Mhm.
But what I'm saying is, as you get old, as you start making money, right?
Yeah.
Then the pressures come in of, well, shoot, our drops are becoming bigger now.
Well,
Our
yeah.
community is coming bigger. Now we have to actually buy more printers or more material, and then that's the pressure, is what I'm saying. As you grow in your passion, but don't get it wrong, don't get it twisted. If you have a passion, you're gonna you don't
find a
mind
way, I
that
think.
pressure.
Yeah,
Figure
you
it
find
out.
a way and you
Yeah,
figure it
you'll
out.
find a way. But if you're doing something you're not passionate about, then it's just gonna be another hindrance, another like.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Because I mean, when I look at tattooing for sure, I think that ideology and everything that I want to do helps me push the tattooing further as well. Because if it was just tattooing, that's all I was going to be at the end of the day. And, that was the job. It wasn't like a thing where I could get more people to see my art or share things like that or kind of brand myself in that way. I'm not sure if it would have been such a huge incentive to me,
Well, I don't think anyone just sticks to tattooing.
That's what I was gonna tell you. I think
Nobody just sticks to tattooing unless
everybody has side hustles.
Yeah.
I've seen traditional artists do just tattooing, but that's all they do. You know what I mean? But everybody does have side hustles.
Well, nowadays, if you don't have side hustles, then you're missing out.
Yeah.
Because with all these tools on the internet, Instagram, TikTok, like
For a lot of artists, tattooing has become again a vehicle to get you
that-
somewhere else.
Exactly.
Yeah, but not a lot of people think you like you guys. Like I've worked with a lot of people that are completely satisfied with where they want to be at,
really?
or they don't think that it's even realistic to the point to get, to have those kind of dreams or to have those kind of accomplishments.
I like
They've
how
been
you
doing
said
it
that.
for so long.
It is a vehicle, and I want to emphasize something when I said back, like I do it for the money. I wouldn't be making the amount of money that I make if I didn't treat that vehicle with respect.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Like you guys will say, well, no, that's kind of like, oh, you're just doing it for the money, Ricky. Well, I am doing it for the money, but in order to have more clients come in and actually pay what I'm asking them, that means that I had to take care of my clients. If I was just doing it for the money and I wouldn't give customer service, I wouldn't try to do my best. So it's all a game. Going back to when we started, like every influencer that does it has their strategy. I have my own strategy. You have your own strategy as well. So in order to be successful in tattooing, you have to be a very good artist,
Mhm.
and that's subjective. Whatever that artist style is, you have to be very committed,
Marketable.
marketable. Well, you have to be good at marketing. You have to get your people out there, and you have to treat people with respect. And that's something nobody out there that's listened to my stuff can say, you know what, Ricky was a dick. I've never been that. From day one,
I said it.
I'm a dick to you. You're my cousin. No, I'm just kidding. But let me finish my thought here, because I always understood that tattooing is about that person next to me. If I'm a dick to him, you think he's going to come back to me no matter how good the tattoo is? Time and time again, I've had clients here that I said, oh, you're going to go to so-and-so. How come you did it? And so-and-so is a reputable name. After they got a tattoo from them. Well, because, I didn't really feel that connection. So tattooing is connection with people, right? But it just so happens that I'm doing a permanent image on them while we're doing this connection for 8 hours or 3 hours or 2 hours, right? And I think that's why we emphasize that here. Like the connection matters. Like if I ever see you putting your headphones on, tattooing somebody here, you're gonna have a meeting, bro. You know what I'm saying? Unless that person has his headphones on and he's just like, and he's the zone out. But other than that, I don't even think you should, because we're all a team here, and you should be always knowing the vibe. I don't get it. Like, I don't get why an artist puts on his headphones and the client as well, and then they tattoo. Dude, you're missing such an opportunity to build a connection with that person. You see what I'm saying? Like, at that point, then it just becomes a human printer.
Yeah.
Where's the connection?
That's how a lot of artists see it.
That's where it goes back. That's where we.
So that's where it goes back to. They're just doing it again for that. I guess that would be a better explanation of doing it just for the money, because you're not doing it for the experience for the client. You're not doing it for anything. You just want to get paid after you did your service.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I tattoo on you. You want my tattoo? Let's do it, and you do your thing, and we don't get to know. I've never done that, you know, but I do say that I don't view tattooing as a lifelong passion, because I was going to want to be an architect when I wanted to start. I was going to do other things. I didn't think art was going to make me money. But when I found this medium called tattooing, yes, I started because the first tattoo that I heard you could make, one of my friends came in and I drew the picture for him and I gave it to him, and he went to an artist in Riverside. I don't know who the artist is now. I don't remember his name. And when he came back with the picture, he told me he got paid $600 for that tattoo. This was in 2008. Okay.
Yeah.
$600 was a lot of money. I was only making $300 a week, and this guy made it for $600. So I was like, "This is where I can make my money." I just gave the damn design to the guy. Obviously, he tattooed it really well. He was his what is it called? His foundation was pretty good. He had nice saturation, all that stuff. But he couldn't have done that without the design. So that's where I said, this is where I can make money. And then I realized, wait a minute, it's about people, you know? People like people, and so that's why I do it. So I cleared it up. Now you guys know. GaryVee's the man. He helped me. So that was a good podcast today. We opened up a little bit more how we think. I like the way you think about some stuff, so we're definitely going to have more conversations.
I'm telling you, bro. Now for the next 2 weeks, that's all you're going to hear.
Yeah, I'm going to be like, hey, bro, listen to this fucking... I tell the guys, here's a 10-minute clip. Go listen to it. Do they listen to it or not? That's their thing, but I feel like it'll help.
You got to be Kanye's like biggest fan next week.
Kanye's?
Yeah.
You know what?
Make a deal.
If you were to say, I'll listen to his stuff, if you listen to this from Kanye West, I'll do it. Because I respect your own opinion too, as much as I want you to respect mine. You know what I'm saying? I can't be like, nah, fool, I don't care. Just, you know, it'd be foolish of me. It'd just be lack of respect, I guess. Mm-hmm. Right? So there you go, guys. Always find your influencer. Don't worry about what other people think.
I like how Carlos was just laughing the whole time in the back.
He laughs about everything. See you guys later.
Please comment and share. We'll see you guys next week.